unlawful, like the shepherd who pastures around a sanctuary, all but grazing therein. Truly, every king has a sanctuary, and truly Allah's sanctuary is His prohibitions. Truly, in the body there is a morsel of flesh, which if it be whole, all the body is whole, and which if it be diseased, all of it is diseased. Truly, it is the heart. It was related by Al-Bukhari and Muslim.
Welcome back to Journey to Siha Nafsiyah. I'm Batrisha Afrina and you're still with me for the conversation Patience in Pain, Finding Purpose in Trial. And being with me in the studio for today is Associate Professor Dr. Rodatul Firdaus binti Fatah Yassin, who is the Associate Professor at the Department of Quran and Sunnah Studies at Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman Kuliah of Islamic Revealed Knowledge and Human Sciences. So doctor, before we went for a break just now, we leave some teaser to our listeners on the next question, on the next conversation that's going to be about what makes it differ between being patient and also just waiting, doing nothing. What is the true meaning or true essence of being patient? Because there are misconceptions out there who people misunderstood about what does it really means to be impatient. Doesn't mean that I don't have to do anything, I just still wait and do nothing. But then if I do that, then other people will be saying that, oh, you're just lazy, you just don't want to take action. So there are people who are confused about this concept. So perhaps before we go further into the conversation, can you further elaborate on that?
Okay, perhaps I can touch a little bit on how Ustaz Syed Nursi in Rasail An-Nur explains not just what patient is but also its types, purposes and how we can develop it.
The types.
Yes.
Alright.
So Syed Nursi generally describes three main types of patience or as-sabr. The first one is patience in obedience or sabr ala ta'ah. This is patience in performing acts of worship like prayer, fasting, charity, zakat, and staying consistent, istiqamah in religious duties, especially when it becomes difficult. Like from time after some times, maybe people might be questioning and asking how many times I have to pray. I have been praying for thousands of rakaat. so that this is normal actually. It comes from the whispers of the nafs, which we have explained in our first episode about the difference between the nafs and the soul. So everybody has the nafs, and this nafs might sometimes rebel. And when it rebels, it voice out the ideas. And this is the time when they start to voice out till when I have to pray. How many times I have to recite the Quran until it finish khatam and khatam and khatam again.
Yeah.
That is when it become rebellious. So it will rebel when the sabr is at the minimum level.
Alright.
That's why we need sabr in performing the ibadah, especially while managing the nafs. For example, also waking up early for fajr or staying calm while fasting in hot summer. So staying calm in the situations where we need to perform certain type of ibadah, which is very challenging, like Hajj this year is going to be in summer, isn't it?
Yes.
What kind of sabr that you need, inshallah. But then this is the act of sabr, which is the first part, which considered as patience in obedience.
Patience in obedience.
And the second type is patience in avoiding sin, or sabr anil ma'siyah. This is the strength to control our desires and avoid haram, forbidden actions, even when temptations are so strong. Again, it goes back to the nafs. When it rebels, it becomes stronger. So the temptations is there. They want to commit wrongdoings. It is by nature. Human beings have the tendencies to have some pleasures and fun, and part of them are actually haram. And the halal one is a lot. If we want to explore deeper and deeper, you will find a lot of entertainment in halal. And whatever halal in this world is sufficient. Allah has provided and made it that way. It is upon us to find, to search, and to stick with the halal rather than to extend to the prohibited one or the haram one. But when the temptations is very strong, it comes from the nafs again, it rebels, then it will push and urge us to commit wrongdoings, following the lust and the desire. For example, in trying to avoid sin is the sabr in resisting anger. I don't want to get angry. But we try to hold ourselves, be calm, patient. This is part of sabar. And then to control the lust and desire. The lust is pushing the person to commit wrongdoings, to watch haram, for example, entertainment, to do some haram deeds with their hands, for example, whatever it is. But they try to hold themselves, no, I couldn't do it, I shouldn't do it, this is haram. Okay, this is another sabar. Right? So naturally, though you think that, oh, he's doing nothing, as your question just now.
Yes.
He's just like sitting down.